Welcome to another episode of Travels with Charlie, Vermont Politics in Real Life. Today we're going to be discussing the rights of small business owners in Vermont. We're at Club Fitness of Vermont right here in Rutland with the owner, Sean Manovill. Sean, thank you for joining us today. Sean was forced to close on March 16th,
Correct.
right, Sean? Due to the coronavirus. You were also sued by the Attorney General, T.J. Donovan. And also with us today is a member of Club Fitness, Jenny Gartner. Jenny, thank you for being with us today as well.
Absolutely.
Sean, let me ask you first. You stayed open after closing for a period.
We closed for about 9 weeks, yep.
And then you reopened against the orders of the governor.
It wasn't that base. So during the closing, we decided at a moment in time that health and wellness became something that was absolutely essential to our local community members. So I made the decision to reopen on May 1st. I received a call from the Attorney General, and he said that they were going to get some possible legislation on May 15th after being open for about a week, 8 days, that they were going to get some legislation that possibly gyms were going to be able to reopen. So he asked me, comply with this ask, and we'll go from there. So
Did you do that?
I did. I
You
closed
did.
for a week.
Yeah.
That week was up. It was a Friday, and that Saturday morning I get the call, and I said, I'm going to stay open. I closed for a week, what you asked. I pulled all my equipment out for 3 days in a row, outside, inside, just to give those people, an opportunity to stay healthy. And we had a pretty good, Jenny was there a couple nights outside getting a good workout in.
Not to mention, bills are accruing. You haven't been open for a couple of months.
Of course.
Members can't come into the club.
It became more than that, because if we just concentrate on the money and we make this just about money, we're almost going down the wrong rabbit hole. This isn't just about the money that I could have or could not have made. This is about a community coming together to become healthier, to fight not only viruses, but a mental state of wellness.
Yeah.
You can go buy 2x4s at Home Depot to build a shed, but you can't work out outside and social distance.
Yeah, and that's a great point. You bring up the issue of what's considered essential business, what's considered non-essential. I guess working out is considered non-essential. Jenny, you might even argue that it is essential. Would you agree?
I would. I think one of the things that I felt really confident about is, like, Sean keeps a really nice facility. It's clean. The people who work there are always cleaning it. We've always been wiping down surfaces anyway.
So you feel safe coming
Always, yeah. I always have. And for me, my mental health depends a great deal on my ability to exercise. And because of some various knee and old lady problems, I guess, it's a lot easier for me to do stuff on machines than it is to just go for a hike. Not to mention, when COVID first started, I would go for hikes sometimes with my friends who we were kind of in our bubble with, and there were tons of people on the trails.
Yeah.
So that was another piece where I was I felt far safer in the gym or even outside where it was socially distanced and it's clean and there aren't that many people than I did on a trail with people who were coming in from, out of state, and I had no idea, so.
You made national news on this, lots of local news stories as well as national news stories picked up on many different networks.
That's the tough part.
Are you kind of surprised that it kind of grew, got that big? And do you think that are you being made an example of in the state of Vermont? Why'd they go after you?
I think they went after me because after the first, second, and third time of demands that I didn't find logical, I think they thought that it wasn't going to be me just being a piece of cake, putting my head in the book, and listening to the teacher. I've always wanted to, it's part of being an entrepreneur. You have to take risks. Those risks are rewards. I think it went so big is because I didn't just shut up and do what I was supposed to do. So they wanted to not only make an example of me, but if I'm going to continue not listening to the first time they said it, I'm going to be in timeout longer.
Jenny, I don't put labels on people and identify what their political beliefs are, but I do know that you probably are not in all political agreement with Sean at all times, and yet here you are, you support him 100%, back him in keeping his place open. Why is that?
Well, I think the first thing comes down to Sean himself. I don't think that I would say I would just back a small business person who wants to stay open because they want to stay open. I trust Sean. I like Sean. Sean's a good person, and Sean would never try to put anyone in harm's way. in any situation. So for me, it wasn't about like, oh, I need to make a stand or I need to make a political statement. And as you said, yes, we don't agree on everything. I don't agree with anybody on anything.
Yeah. Jenny, you've worked out here for how many years have you been a member?
I actually became a member before the equipment was here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pre-sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I lived like right around the corner, and I was like, well, I think that's a sign. So I'm gonna join.
What's changed for you since the pandemic? You know, we know, you know, in the past that it's always been when you're done using equipment, you wipe it down. I mean, so that's always been
I
there.
think the funny thing that's changed for me anyway is like there was always like we always understood that you wipe down the equipment, you know, after you use it, and now of course there has to be more signs that tell us to do that. So there are more signs to remind us of what we were already doing, right?
It's a beautiful day here at the end of August. We're approaching, and thankfully it's gorgeous outside, we're approaching the winter months. Things are going to change, of course, with that. Not so much with your business because you're not doing any outside. You know, I fear for the restaurants that are serving outside, and they're going to lose that capability. And again,
when the flu season comes, it might be another.
And that's the important point. It's the flu season coming back again. And if that happens again, you could be in a situation where the governor or from even up higher could say, we got to shut down again. Are you prepared for that to happen? And what would you do if it did happen again, Sean?
Again, I'm not going to fear the unknown, but my club's staying open. I think everybody knows that. I'm going to stand by the fact that we do everything to protect all of our members at all times. Anyone that says differently should definitely come meet me. I think the big thing is if there was ever a shutdown, I don't think they will do that. Let's hope and pray that doesn't happen because that's going to cause a scene, and Club Fitness will be open. I'm not going to be scared of somebody that's making up rules because I have no dialogue with that person. It's not like I got to call Governor Scott and say, can we talk about this so you can hear it from I talked a little bit to the AG, but at the end of the day, it's his job to follow the rule of the governor, and I can't blame him for that, but he also can't blame me for what I do.
What did you do for the 2 months, Jenny, that you weren't able to come here?
I ordered a home gym thing, and after two...
Not the Suzanne Summers
no,
one.
Gosh, no. No, and after I think probably a week of using that...
The Chuck Norris.
Oh, gosh. My son was like,
I like
Mommy,
to ask,
when is the gym going to reopen?
Any of that stuff really work?
I mean, hey, anything works if you do it.
Yeah. Have you seen an uptick, or is our memberships kind of flat, or are they down?
No, so the nice thing is here too is like we are definitely seeing new faces, different faces. So some old faces decided that this wasn't for them, and that's okay. Some of our clientele that are in those at-risk, numbers that you were talking about, but we're bringing in a big uptick in young people.
I know we're not talking, any money issues here, and you've kind of made that pretty clear, but you've still got a $13,000 fine hanging over your head.
Yeah, we're in, with Deb, my lawyer, we're still in a battle with the state, and that goes on. So I guess time will tell throughout that process.
I mean, how does that make you feel?
I might have been, I think, the only person, in the state of Vermont that just didn't obey 100% to the way somebody said to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe I've given some inspiration where people are starting to look at things logically and not politically. Or logically and not, I'm going to listen to, whatever the king says, that's what I do. And that's no thing to, I'm not trying to have people line the streets saying, keep Club Fitness open. I don't want that.
Yeah.
I never looked for that attention, honestly. It's not about that. It's really about this is my family away from my family. These members, we literally have conversations daily about, life, and the gym isn't just working out. We got to remember that. This is an opportunity to de-stress, but it's also an opportunity to find common ground in certain things, to respect each other. I mean, this is a huge place of development mentally, and don't we need that? At this time, don't we need to bring people together and not keep pushing them away?
Yeah. Well, we've got an opportunity now where this is the part of the episode where I give you a magic wand, and today we're actually going to unveil, for the first time, it's not a virtual magic wand, it is a real magic wand. I'm going to give the wand first to Jenny. You'll be the first one to use the magic wand. You can wave it, Jenny.
Oh my gosh.
And anything that you wish for, you can get.
Okay, so there's like a flick and switch?
Whatever, however you do, everybody has a different style.
I am wishing for people to start to listen to each other and talk to each other and hear each other and not judge each other. That is think the number
like
one
it.
thing that I think would go over really well for us all right now.
Well, that's just common sense. I mean,
Yeah, but you know.
But no, she's wishing upon a star for that.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, it's a little far-fetched, so that's what I'm going for.
Sean, go
All
ahead.
right. Well, if I wanted one
Well,
thing,
you got it backwards now.
Oh, yeah, no, you
something-
don't want to
yeah,
reverse the
careful.
magic.
if
Don't reverse the magic.
if I waved this to wish anything, I would just wish that people stay comfortable in their own skin and never feel judged, even if they are judged. So it's kind of going off her. I want everybody to be completely comfortable to speak how they feel and not feel as though they will be shamed or judged for the decisions they make, because they are all we are all adults in this world, and we can make our own decisions for ourselves and our families.
All right.
I hope that happens.
We're going to do a little workout now.
Let's go.
All right. I want to thank my guest today for being with me, Sean Manovill from Club Fitness, and Jenny Gartner. Jenny is a member as well as staying in shape. Thank you both for being with me today. I want to remind you that you can see more episodes. You can see that magic wand doing some real magic coming up shortly on Facebook and on YouTube. And I'll see you in my travels.
See you in my travels, and I'll be hanging round, covering lots of ground. If you be so kind and share what's on your mind, it's time well spent talking presidents. Though we may not agree, let your thoughts run free. You can have your turn if you feel the burn. On back road gravel, I'll see you in my travels.